Hi guys, it's Lisa. I am here to do the second page of the Project Life spread that I started last week. Last week I did the left side and this week I did the right side. So I'm showing you there just in case you didn't watch last week's, but that's last week's, and I'm trying to make the second page cohesive with the first page. I typically don't do that. I don't really worry about, the pages really being cohesive with each other or the colors matching. And I just decided, since this was a little getaway, that I thought, I would go ahead and do them kind of matching up with each other. So once again, I'm got out my Dylusions ink spray and I'm using the lemon zest, and I'm just doing the packaging technique where whenever I get new scrapbooking supplies, I go ahead and save the packaging from whether it's, thickers or an ephemera pack or anything pretty much, and I just throw it in my mixed media drawer, and that way I always have some packaging so that I can do this technique, because it's really a lot of fun. It's quick, it's easy, and it's not very messy. The only reason why I was covering over that the area with the baby wipe is because the Dylusions mists, they're extremely pigmented, so it just, one little tiny drop makes a really big mess. So it's awesome, I love it, but I just want to make sure I don't have it all over everything, because once you start wiping it up, it turns into the next thing you know, your desk is yellow. So anyways, I've had this wood veneer for quite a while, and sometimes you see a wood veneer, you get it in your kit and you're like, okay, how am I going to use a house? So I just thought, where we traveled down to Massachusetts to see my niece and nephew on August 1st, that it would be a good opportunity, because we visited their house, to use this house wood veneer. So I decided to go ahead and use that, and then right now I'm just distressing the edges, and that is Tim Holtz Black Soot. And those numbers you see in the upper left hand corner are, you get certain numbers in kits and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do all these numbers, they don't really mean anything or they don't match up with anything. And I just decided to go ahead, and I thought, well, it takes about 3 hours to drive down there, so I took the 1, the 2, and the 3, and it's vellum, and they're Scraptastic. They do, like, I want to say it's custom. I think they cut them, and then they give them to us in their kit. And I also got those suns on there, and we also got stars, so we got a bunch. And it's really nice because if you want to add a little pop of color, you can just go ahead and take a piece of the vellum. So I decided to go ahead and use my tiny attacher, because it's really hard to use any type of adhesive. I know some of it's transparent, but I don't know, it's, what, to be totally honest, it's quick and easy, so I always grab my tiny attacher and go ahead and use that. So let's see. So I did like 3 or 4 of those cards with the color. And in next week's Project Life with a Splash of Color, I actually did a little bit more mixed media, and I'm adding some gesso and a couple other things, a stencil, some more of the Dylusion spray. So I figured it would be kind of like, 2 or 3 weeks I would do this in a row, just to, I don't know, just to mix it up a little bit, add a little bit of excitement to my pages. That'll add a little bit more interest, and plus it's really a lot of fun using mixed media for your Project Life, and it can be quick and easy if you just keep it simple. So that photo there is just another photo of my niece and nephew. They just got their new dog, and I talked about it last week, and she's a rescued greyhound, and she's a sweetheart. The really nice things about those greyhounds is, although she raced for, I think, 2 years, now she's got a home where she can just obviously nap whenever she wants to. So she laid down on her bed in front of the window right in that little spot of sun like a cat would do, and it was really cute. So I went ahead and had to capture that moment. And this photo that I am working on right now was my husband, and he was playing, gosh, what is that game called? It's almost like a tabletop soccer type thing, and you turn the handles, and I'm totally not interested in games, so I was there, supported him in watching the game. But yeah, I guess I need a little bit more interaction or challenge maybe, but anyways, they had fun doing that. On the left-hand side, what I've been doing lately is just kind of pulling out the embellishments that I choose to use and lay them over there just so you guys can see them. and then I just take them out when I want to go ahead and put them on the cards. It saves a little bit of time, and I've always done it that way, and it just seems like, well, I mean, I guess I could have you guys watching me fish through all my stuff, but, well, I think it probably saves some time. So I'm just distressing the edges. Oh, and that picture's really funny. My husband's like, "You're not going to put that on YouTube, are you?" And of course, I'm like, "Of course," because he has the funniest look on his face. They're having a staring contest, and yeah, it's funny. So I had to take the photo, and of course, I have to put it on YouTube. But they think he is the coolest thing ever. Not that they don't like me. You know, I love kids. You know, I love getting down the floor and playing with them. But they just love him. They think he's funny, which he is, and they think he's so cool. So on that, I had this little wood veneer that said "Stay cool," and it was probably meant for, you know, it's summer, it's hot out, you know, eat a popsicle, sit in front of the fan. But I said, no, I'm just going to use it as, like, you know, stay cool, as in, you know, I'm like really cool. So I put that on there, and it's funny how you can kind of switch up your embellishments to really whatever you interpret them as. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool to do that. And that is my niece sitting in the back seat, and she just looked like such a cute, she's just like such a young lady, even though she's only like, I think she's going to be 6 in January. But yeah, she just looks so cute. I had to get some photos of that. I think by the time we were done with the day, they were sick of me taking the picture, but they were really troopers because they just smiled for all the photos. So that acrylic word phrase says, wait a minute, which one did I just do that? I think, oh, it says fave. And that was just a photo I took. We were coming out of Toys R Us, and I was walking behind them, and I just looked up, and it was like such a cute moment. I decided, you know what, I gotta get a photo of that. So Uncle Chris and Avery, and they were just walking hand in hand, and it was adorable. And then, so I'm just getting some Teresa Collins, those little tiny letters that I love. And oh, let's see, the bottom row, the second one from the left, the two photos I have kind of stacked on top of each other. What I ended up doing was, since I wanted to use up, I had a lot of pictures, and I wanted to get as many of them on there as I could. And instead of making it into a 3x4 on PicMonkey, I decided to cut it in half, and so I did smaller photos. And then what I do is I go ahead and I just use some adhesive and tape them down to some white cardstock. And that way they won't float around in my book. And when I go to put the other photo in behind it for the next week's layout, you know, I won't have to worry about them falling out and stuff like that. And I don't know, I like doing that. And you kind of have one photo of my nephew playing trucks and cars up and down my husband's back, and then the photo underneath, you can see his arm going up my husband's back. So it's kind of like the same situation, but I just took different photos and put them together. So I thought that was kind of fun. And this stamp set from Scraptastic, you know what, I don't even know, I think I've used like 2 or 3 letters out of there. But yeah, I decided, you know what, I'm going to get that stamp set out and use it. So I went ahead and stamped Mass, because we're down in Massachusetts. And then, so I did the 1, the 2, and the 3. And then I wrote Our Drive to, and then I put Mass. So yeah, basically, like I said, you can take pretty much any embellishments and make them into whatever you want. So I don't know how else I would have used those numbers, unless it was like a date or something. Or if it was like an 8, I could have used it for August. But I don't know. I just figured I'd be creative and use up some of my stash. Some of the things that I've kind of been sitting around that I'm like, no, I don't know, know when I'm going to get a chance to use those. So these are the Simple Stories photo stickers. And I really like these because I mean, there's just so many different things to choose from, and it's nice just to be able to, if I don't feel like editing a lot in PicMonkey and putting a lot of phrases and things and captions on my photos, I just use the Simple Stories, because I think I have 2 packs of them now. One was like summer vibes, I think, and the other one was from the springtime. So, and that is just a little arrow that says, "Look at this," pointing at my husband's face, which was priceless. You guys, look at that. Look at that face. He just looked at it and started laughing. I just had to laugh because you're not going to put that on YouTube, are you? I could have said, no, I'm not going to put that on YouTube. why would I put that on YouTube? But he knows me better. So I was honest. I got to be honest. I said, yes, put it on YouTube. So I am trying to stay cohesive with these 2 pages. I used a ton of, I wanted to use up some, I have an addiction to enamel dots and shapes and acrylics and things like that. So I wanted to use up a bunch of them, but I ended up using most of the We Are Memory Keepers ones for the first page. So I just decided to go ahead and use up the rest, as much as I could on the right side. And then in the photos, I will show you the 2 spreads together. I did take a photo of that, so you'll see they are cohesive. I liked the yellow with a little bit of red. And sorry, my phone's ringing. I'm just going to shut that off. And let's see, a little bit of twine, and I think that's it. We're going to call it a day here. Oh, this is why, sorry, I just went ahead and took this white cardstock, cut it down, and then just adhered these photos to that, and that way it kind of makes a card. And I'm going to go ahead and add the twine or embroidery floss to that, just to add a little bit of texture to my page. And then that's it. So next week I'll have another layout with some more mixed media. I thought that would be kind of fun to do. And yeah, it'll be fun. I hope you'll join me along. I hope you like the video and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys really soon. Bye, YouTube.